Good afternoon, Mikel.
Hello.
Big game against Brentford tomorrow. Saturday. Good start. What's the team news ahead of that one?
Not much. We had got some players back last Monday, and then we had Martinelli and Bukayo with little issues. We are pretty positive that hopefully they can be part of that, but we'll have to wait and see how they feel tomorrow.
One change you will have to make, of course, is in goal.
Yeah.
With Aaron Ramsdale coming in for David Raya, I would assume. When you look at that situation, would you rather him have had a bit more game time going into such a big game like this?
It's what it is. He's fully prepared. He trains really well every day. He's desperate to play, like the rest of the boys that haven't had that many opportunities. And on Saturday is a great day for him.
What's his mood and his attitude been like around?
He's been brilliant. He's been really good, really supportive, really pushing every day in training like I expected, and it's a joy to have two top goalkeepers in the team.
Mikel, either side of the new year, you had those 3 defeats in a row, 2 in the league and the FA Cup exit as well. Then you had the warm weather training in Dubai, and it's been in the league at least 7 wins in a row, 31 goals scored. Can you give us a bit of an insight into what happened there, what you said to the players, which players were quite forthright about what was going on beforehand? Yeah,
well, it was necessary. Obviously, we had a really tough period before that. We played so many games. We had some defeats, especially not deserving to lose matches, but I think it was something as well that probably was necessary to keep improving and keep demanding ourselves the weather, the temperature, some of the things that we had time to work on to improve as a team as well. And everything clicked, and then we won, we were playing good, and that helps.
Do you think you'll look back on that as maybe a turning point in your season, that trip?
Well, it was really good. To be fair, it was a perfect timing for us. What we built there, the chemistry, the energy that it was around the place, the amount of time that we have to spend together and enjoy that part, whether it was on the field, out of the field. It was a really positive trip.
Brentford last season in the home game, we know what happened. There was an error with VAR. Does that still irk you, and is it something that motivates you when you go into this game?
Well, every point that we left or we left this season, it hurts, and obviously it's still there, and that's it. But we have a lot to play for. We know the difficulty of the match is always really tough. We played them twice already, and we suffer, and we always suffer against Brentford. And on Saturday, I expect a very similar match.
I guess for you, it's just to get the job done on Saturday, and then will you be watching a certain game that's happening on Sunday at Anfield?
And that's the only thing we can control, and perform well and play better than them and earn the right to win the game. And let's do that. And if we do that on Sunday, yeah, it's a beautiful game to watch for any football supporter, and I will certainly be watching it.
Do you care about the result?
I can't control it. I will enjoy a magnificent game of football, which were the best teams in Europe in the last decade, and let's see what that brings. But the focus is on us and Brentford.
I thought you'd answer it like that, but privately, do you have a preference?
No, privately and publicly, I have the same one because it's nothing to do with me.
Okay, just one final one from me, just on the contract situations of some of your players. I know you're wanting to tie a lot of your players down to longer term contracts. Can you tell us anything on Ben White and Tomiyasu? Are they close?
Not really, and I leave that more to Edu and the club to announce those things when the times are right.
Thank you, good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Anish. Was Alice from the Premier League?
Thank you.
Hi.
21 goals scored in the last 4 league games, just the 1 goal conceded. How satisfying are these performances for you as manager right now, and what sort of a message are they sending out to your title rivals?
Yeah, it's great because it shows obviously the quality and the consistency that the team is showing, and then the way that we have scored those goals as well, not only the manner but as well the personnel. So it's really positive thing to see, and then the fact that we are conceding very little defensively. So those 2 ingredients together are very powerful to get results and to get consistency, and we want more.
Sure. So Brentford up next for you on Saturday. Then victory, of course, would send you top of the league. Would it be safe to say that your players need no more motivation than to put the pressure on Liverpool and Man City to have to respond to your result on Sunday?
Yeah, we know the demands that we have. We know the demands that Brentford are going to ask us to put to win the match, and then the fact that we are still not there, and we want to be better than where we are at the moment. In order to do that, we have to continue to win.
I know you've not given much away there on your preference, but can we assume maybe that you'll be hoping to see Liverpool and City both drop points with a draw at Anfield?
Honestly, it's nothing to do with me. I will sit there with my kids and enjoy the match.
Worth a try. To have just 2 points separating the top three with less than a third of the season left to play, some might say that this is the best title race we've ever seen. Would you agree with that?
Well, I can imagine that for a lot of people it's very interesting, and we want to make it very interesting, especially for us. So we have to keep going.
Okay, after the Sheffield United win, I know you spoke about the fact that the signings you made last summer are playing such a pivotal part in your current momentum, and Kai Havertz's one of those absolutely shining right now. I just wonder, how pleasing is it for you to see the impact he's having both on and off the pitch, particularly given that there were some questions asked when he first joined?
Yeah, it says about his character as well, and how he has dealt with all those question marks, and the attitude that he showed all the time. When things were not that good in certain phases of the game, but he continued to work hard. That's what is love for everybody here. And then, we can see his quality, we can see his intelligence on the pitch, and the contribution he's having to the pitch. So obviously very happy with him.
Yeah, and on quality, another one of those summer signings, Declan Rice, enjoying his most prolific Premier League season so far, 5 goals and 5 assists. He, though, says that he wants way more than he's got right now. How contagious is that mindset among this group of players you're working with?
Yeah, that's something I think is amongst the team, that they want to keep improving. They all believe that they have still another year or two to go, and that's the level that we want to push them to, and we are achieving it with the majority of the players, and we have to continue to do that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Brad from TalkSport.
Hi Mikel,
Hi.
hope you're well. When you first became Arsenal manager back in 2019, when you look at the way that Arsenal are playing at the minute, is this always how you envisage your Arsenal side to play like when you first took over?
Very difficult to do it if you don't know the players that you have. At the end, you have to adapt to the players, to the quality as they have, in order to play and achieve what you want to do. But I'm really satisfied with the way the team plays.
And what changes do you notice in your side this season? Do you feel they're more experienced, maybe more wiser than what we saw towards the end of last season?
Yeah, experience is a factor. They have played more time together as well. They understand the system better. They understand the way we have to compete and the demands that we have to put to ourselves better. And then the confidence grows when results go their way, and performances as well. So.
And on Kai Havertz as well, how key is he to the way that you want to play and the way that you want your forward players to press from the front?
Yeah, his ability, obviously, to occupy spaces, but as well in transition moment to exploit them. The aggression that he has in high press is really, really good. He has the physical qualities as well to play very different kind of games, and that's an attribute that we thought was going to be very positive for us.
An Arsenal legend, Thierry Henry, said on the TV on Monday that he can see similarities between Declan Rice and Yaya Toure. I wonder what your thoughts are on that, and maybe how many more goals Declan Rice could get going forward in the future as he tries to...
Very good players to get compared to, because Yaya was an incredible player, and what he did in this league, he was outstanding, and Declan wants more, so that's a good sign.
That's great. Best of luck, Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi Mikel, I was
Hi.
just wondering on Aaron, when we've seen him on the bench he still seems very invested in what's going on the pitch, and I was just wondering, we all know he's a big personality, how big has that been for you, I guess, with what was a difficult decision to, I guess, leave him on the bench at times?
Yeah, one of the toughest things is to deal with the players that they don't have in the amount of time that they deserve, and not only Aaron, but with many of those, but we have an unbelievable group of players where we try to be straight and explain things and be close to them and give them the support that we want, and then when they have the opportunity at the end they want to contribute to the team the best possible way, and that's what Aaron will try to do on Saturday.
In slightly different kind of field, I was wondering, a lot of people have this concept of rest and how, I guess, gaps in between games are quite good for teams, but I was wondering, do you maybe prefer having the momentum that you may be able to build when there's a shorter period of time between games?
Well, we had a very strange schedule lately, you know, because we have a long period after Newcastle and this game. The same happened a week or two ago, but we have adapted, and we have to have the capacity to adapt to that. It's true that now we're going to have 2 games very close to each other, and then we're going to have a big gap again after the international break to Man City. So try to plan it the right way to maximise the time that we get.
Kai?
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
You spoke there about Aaron being left on the bench and his positive reaction to it. At Sheffield United, obviously Eddie, Reece and Neil were also left among the subs. I know there's lots of reasons why you made the subs you did that night, but when things like that happen and maybe they're not getting those opportunities, are there any fears in your mind that maybe you'll lose them a bit mentally going forward, or do you think they're just as switched on as they always have been?
We discussed that thing. We cannot play every player every game, you know, and those players played a few days ago against Newcastle, and they had the opportunities to do that. And now we have 5 subs. Before we had only 3, so we have another 2 players happy. You know, that's the way I take it. But you're always going to have players that want to be involved and play. But unfortunately, it is impossible. It's nothing. It's not in our hands. It is impossible to achieve that. So they know that.
Have you pulled any of them specifically aside to say that this is what's going on, you'll get your opportunities later on if you keep sort of behaving right on the trend?
Yeah, but you cannot really promise anything. You know what's going to happen in a week time, in 3 or 7 days. But just, I think we have to show the compassion, and we need to feel. They need to feel that we are next to them and we understand where they are. But the reality as well is this is football, it's a team sport, and you have to understand and fulfill the role that you have in the moment. And it might be very different in 3 weeks' time.
Slight gear change, but I remember with the Man City Amazon documentary, when you were working with Pep, there was a big game that Man City had. I can't quite remember what the game was, but you guys all went out to dinner and watched the game together. I just wondered, with Man City Liverpool this weekend, will you be doing anything with your coaching staff similar, or will you all be watching?
I didn't remember about that. You gave me an idea, but the idea was to watch it with my kids. But I don't know what I'm gonna do.
James?
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
Just on Aaron again. Can he adapt to what you want from a goalkeeper, or is the team going to have to change their approach with him in goal?
Not only that he can adapt, he has proven that he can perform really well to what I want and what we want.
So does he have a chance of keeping his place? Do you tell him that going into this weekend, this is your chance, or does he know already this is kind of a one-off?
But we don't have that kind of conversation with players. Not with Aaron, with any other player in the field. I play today and you have a chance to play next week. That doesn't happen.
Obviously, facing Brentford brings you against Ivan Toney. He's a player you've been linked with a lot in the past. Obviously, nothing happened in January. That kind of speculation is all quiet now. Can you rule out a move for Ivan Toney in the summer?
I don't talk about any other player, because if not, I have to be ruling out every player in the market, because we are with a lot of players. That's it.
And just one on following up on that in terms of the striker generally. Obviously, you've been scoring goals all over the place recently.
Yeah.
Does that change your thinking about the summer and whether you need a forward?
No, the plans that we have for the summer are very clear, and they were done almost at the start of the season, understanding what we can have, the contract situation that we have with some players, and how we want to improve and maintain the level of the team. So this certainly is not changing anything.
Okay, we'll now go for 12 o'clock Friday. So 12 o'clock Friday.